The last time we talked about the Cody Co allegations, Tana Mojo had said that Cody slept with her when she was 17 years old and he was 25.
Who's the smallest dick you've ever had sex with?
Oh my god, no one look at me, Cody Co. Delete the videos. I can say that. I was literally 17. I can say that. What?
Hey, yo, what the?
Delete the video.
When Tana said this, people started looking through her history to find that she actually had dropped hints about this or mentioned it for years, but nobody was really paying attention. They found this old video where Cody and Tana did a little collab, and it seems like they're flirting.
Alright, so...
No, I mean, you know, he's looking. Looking isn't illegal.
But at the end of the day, these allegations were unsubstantiated. It was Tana saying one thing and no proper dead-to-rights evidence beyond that. And this drama was pretty low-key. Nobody big was really acknowledging it. I think my video from a month ago, the H3 podcast, and then like a few other creators that are relatively small were like the only people really giving their opinions or even bringing it up. And it seemed like Cody's plan was just to ignore this and wait for it to blow over. And that was pretty easy to do for him because, you know, so few people even knew about it. But all of that has changed now thanks to D'Angelo Wallace, a commentary creator that a lot of you probably know of. Now, I would bet if you're watching me, you probably aren't a D'Angelo Wallace viewer for no particular reason.
Hello, base department?
But he made this video titled An Uncomfortable Conversation about Cody Co. And for the most part, I think it's pretty good. Firstly, we have some more clips of Tana talking about when she allegedly slept with Cody. She says this happened at Playlist Live, which is basically another like YouTuber circle jerk convention sort of thing. She says that she was there and she was making out with Cody, and Gabby Hanna of all people tried to intervene and say like, hey man, she's 17 years old.
She claims that not only were you fully aware of her age at the time, but someone even tried to stop you and you went ahead anyway.
There was a situation with Gabby Hanna at a Playlist Live where she pulled him aside and told him like, yo, she's 17. And then we still went and hooked up.
You nasty ass bastard!
D'Angelo Wallace also has this clip from 2021 of Tana Mojo saying the exact same thing.
I was 17 at the time, 18. I started kind of hooking up with other people. Shout out JC Kalen, shout out Cody Co.
And these are both interesting, but it's all stuff that everybody has seen before for the most part. What people had not seen was this next clip where Gabby Hanna tells the same exact story that Tana Mojo just told.
I told a guy, I saw him making out with a girl at a party who was underage, and I pulled him aside and I was like, hey man, you probably don't know. I know she like looks a little older. She's underage. Watch it. And he's like, oh my God, thank you for telling me. And then he heard that.
Obviously, this doesn't 100% prove that Tana told the truth. At the end of the day, we weren't there. The only people who apparently were are Tana, Gabby, and Cody Co. At least those are the people willing to talk about it right now. But the fact that Gabby Hanna told the exact same story years ago really makes the situation a lot harder to ignore. It's not 100% evidence, but it's something. And if true, it would mean that Cody not only was aware of her age, but he was also told by someone else that knew her age that, you know, he shouldn't be doing anything like that with her because of her age, and he did it anyway. If what Gabby is saying is true, the implication is also that he knew that Gabby and others could find out about what happened, and that could of course cause serious reputational harm to him, and despite that, he still followed through and hooked up with her. Apparently, the risk of that was not enough to stop him from banging Tana Mojo. Meanwhile, Cody Co himself has just said nothing about this, and even appears to be censoring his YouTube comment section so people don't know about this stuff, and they're not allowed to find more information about it from his comment section from people discussing it. People have also been claiming that whoever moderates his subreddit was also censoring any discussion of it for a long time. Now, if that was the case at any point in time, it doesn't seem to be the case now that the D'Angelo video is blown up, because the whole sub is filled with the Cody Co allegations. Some of us have been here for ages trying to get people to fucking listen, and we have been non-stop silenced by the mods, and the situation has been swept under the rug for so long. The scream of relief I saw seeing Charlie and D'Angelo talk about this, Cody kind of has to address it now. There were stray comments here and there under his post that were easy to ignore, but this is different, I hope.
This isn't just some crazy tea. It was a crime.
So people basically think that now with D'Angelo talking about this, obviously he's got like 1 million subscribers on YouTube, it's going to be much harder for Cody or anyone else to ignore this being so big. You know, Tana has been a very unlikable person in the past for a lot of reasons. She's definitely not my kind of person, and I've definitely made fun of her a lot.
He f***ed me with a toothbrush. He f***ed me with a toothbrush.
You so freaky ass.
Not even just for funny reasons. I mean, the whole iDubbbz thing where she made it seem like he was like a domestic terrorist or something when he trolled her. And, you know, she was like, you can't say the N-word. But then she had also said it. I think that was, you know, pretty dumb.
Looking at me like with the creepiest, most terrifying smile.
Yeah, I can give her this one too, I think.
Like he's like enraged. What is he gonna do?
Gonna need you to send in the big gun.
Okay.
So if you see all of this, you know, you may see her as an unlikable person. But some things to keep in mind is that just because you don't like someone does not mean that they are always a liar or always not telling the truth. You know, this is a very serious allegation. I also think to hold that stuff against her to this day is kind of dumb because, I mean, she was 18 years old back then. She's 26 years old now. She's changed a lot. And, you know, I think you can tell she's matured a decent amount just from clips of her talking about the whole iDubbbz thing since then.
I kind of think I like deserved that. And maybe that's like dark, like to say, but like I don't feel like I'm owed an apology.
And even if all of this was not the case, okay, let's say Tana was still the same exact insufferable, annoying Tana Mojo she was back then. I don't think that means that people shouldn't take her allegations seriously. You know, at the end of the day, if it's untrue, then Cody can definitely easily respond and say, hey, this is fake. I did not do this. Here's my evidence for why and whatever else he has to show, right? But the fact remains that someone with 5 million subscribers is accusing Cody Ko of a crime, and he's just not talking about it. And this is one of the points that D'Angelo hits on in the video. The fact that for some reason, all of Cody's collaborators and friends have said nothing about this, and no super big channel from that side of the internet has even covered it apart from D'Angelo.
I know for a fact if you swapped out Cody Ko with someone that like people didn't like that much, I would be receiving so much more sympathy.
I find your silence on the situation to be uncomfortable because I know that if Tana's allegations are true, then silence would be your only option, since telling the truth would be tantamount to confessing to a crime, and lying would put you at risk of being contradicted by a witness.
Hey there, Mr. Smelly. Mr. Stinky, I would call you. Are you tired of smelling nice being so expensive and inconvenient? Smelling good with a nice fragrance will boost your confidence and attractiveness. You can express your unique personality through fragrance. Just like clothing choices, different scents can create different vibes, you see, which allow you to project the image that you want onto the world so everyone knows what you're all about. Well, it's never been easier thanks to today's sponsor, Scentbird, a subscription service that allows you to try out the smells you want in an affordable and convenient way. This month, they sent me Scents of Wood Cedarwood x Scentbird, which is a collaboration perfume they did. They also sent me Eau de Parfum Press Gerwitz Perfumerie No. 4. And we can't forget my personal favorite, St. Bart's Seascape by Tommy Bahama. Wow, I am personally very excited to get into these perfumes with you guys. So they all come in this super sleek and cool packaging in a little cinch bag, and inside of that bag is where you will actually find your perfume. You can see here it's in a bit of a cylinder container. And what you're gonna do is take this part, you're gonna open it, and there you go, you have your perfume, and it's absolutely ready to go whenever you need it. Now, Scents of Wood here has a medley of sort of warm, cocooning notes. It's got comforting cedarwood, it's got some amber tonic and some tonka bean, and it really is going to come together to carry you into another world, one where you're truly in touch with nature and your great smelling musk. Now here we've got Eau de Parfum Gerwitz Perfumerie No. 4, and this is a real classic, as many of you will know if you're into perfume. I mean, you can tell by the name. You see, this one has some very subtle notes of bergamot, fig, and musk. It's a fragrance that really reminds me of the ocean side where I grew up. And it's simply addictive. If you wear this one out, it's going to be popular with every gender. All the genders. I mean, it's spicy, it's warm, it's got a dash of black pepper, and last but not least, we have once again my personal favorite, St. Bart's Seascape. Now, this is a great one, okay? Oh, what a lovely scent. That's what they say. It's spicy, it's warm, it's got a dash of black pepper in there, a hint of wild sage, and when you wear it out, it's sure to be all the rage. Look, guys, as many of you... I dropped it. Well, would you look at that? The packaging was so good that it didn't even break. Amazing value! Now, as you guys know, I used to smell like a wet sock, fresh out of the goon cave, okay? But thanks to Scentbird, I now smell great every single day. Women on the street, they say, hey, Tom, you smell great. I want to spend time with you alone privately in your home. And that's not all, okay? Scentbird is very affordable. You get to try your first fragrance for only $8. Your next month is only $16.95. You can change the fragrances you receive every month, avoiding the commitment of those expensive full bottle prices. And they've got a wide selection of 700 fragrances. I mean, wow! Amazing, seriously amazing value over here, guys. You gotta get in. It's a great place to deepen your knowledge about perfume. With so many smells to explore, there's a world of opportunity to express yourself through scent. The packaging is convenient and discreet. I mean, you can easily throw these guys in your travel bag when you're ready to go on a nice trip. And what's even better is you don't have to go to the pesky store. You don't have to leave your humble goon cave abode, okay? It comes right to you. There's no reason not to try Scentbird right freaking now. If you're interested in Scentbird, use the QR code on screen or use my personal code TOMDARK to get 55% off at Scentbird. I mean, you're getting their product for half the price, $8. What a steal. And thank you very much to Scentbird for sponsoring today's video. Ooh. I don't know about you guys, but once that bird put the perfume on, I thought he smelled pretty good. Tana also specifically claims that not even that long ago, when a lot of this stuff was sort of bubbling to the surface a little bit, but it wasn't really being talked about on a large scale, Cody had texted her about it to ask if they were like on good terms and if she was mad at him. And she was like, no, I'm not mad at you. We're on good terms. And on one hand, Tana may have said that, and she may actually feel that way. Like maybe she doesn't hate Cody for this. It's hard to tell, you know, but regardless of what her feelings on it are, if Cody did this, it's still fucked up. I think a lot of people out there would still be uncomfortable with the idea of Cody Ko at 25 sleeping with a 17-year-old Tana Mojo, myself included. Now, I'm not a big fan of Cody. I've seen some of his stuff and I think he's kind of funny, but overall his humor just doesn't totally appeal to me. It's just not my thing. But I do know that Cody is seen as the like YouTube commentary golden boy, okay? On that side of the internet, he's totally loved and revered and people will do anything for him. He's friends with a lot of people from that commentary scene, the ex-Viner commentary scene. For example, Danny Gonzalez. And Danny has apologized for a lot of things in the past. He apologized for using the word beaner because his audience was mad at him.
I'm very sorry. I should not have been using that word.
Cody has also collaborated with Drew Gooden, who apologized for some old jokes that he made about Asian people a little while ago.
These aren't the type of jokes that I like to make. I don't think this kind of humor is funny, and I never want to say anything that is hurtful to a group of people. That's not the type of content that I want to put out into the world.
Now, I don't care about any of this shit, and I think they should be able to say that. Like, I don't care, okay? You guys know, I don't care.
Don't care. Don't care. Still don't care. I don't care.
But it obviously looks bad to their audience when they're willing to apologize for these things. Danny is willing to apologize for having a Starbucks cup in his video, but when their friend and collaborator is accused of a serious crime, they won't say anything about it. Like, their audience is screaming right now, like, these guys are phonies.
Phony!
Now, obviously, there are some other explanations at play here. I don't personally think that all of these people need to talk about this allegation right now. I don't think they need to. I mean, just keep in mind right now, even with the fact that D'Angelo's made this video, this is still technically an allegation so far, at least as of me writing and recording this. So maybe they don't want to weigh in on an ongoing story when they don't know what happened. Maybe if any of these dudes are actually really, really good friends with Cody, they asked him about it privately and he was like, oh, none of that is true. You know, Tana's lying on my name. Maybe that's what he said. We don't know what's happened behind the scenes with these guys. And honestly, given that this situation is ongoing and we don't really know what the fuck happened, I think it's fair for them to not necessarily respond right now. But these guys have set the standard that they will apologize for the littlest thing. Danny will apologize for drinking Starbucks.
Every brother should have a cup of Starbucks in their hand.
And with this issue, they just like stick their head in the fucking sand. To the audience that they have cultivated, this obviously looks horrible. Now, D'Angelo also calls out Cody for using slurs, and once again, obviously not to harp on it too much, but I'm not personally affected by that. I'm not personally mad about it. But he then details the Colby Leachman situation that I talked about in my last video on this, where Cody has a friend named Colby from college who was accused of a very, very serious crime.
This is one of many examples of your poor handling of controversy. Not many people know that you've already lost fans over an eerily similar topic. You used to frequently feature and promote your college friend Colby Leachman in your videos until it came out that during your school days, Leachman's university put him on probation for, as a United States District Judge would later put it, the non-consensual videotaping of a sex act with another student, showing the video to other people, lying to the police about the video, and behaving horribly to that individual and at least one other woman. To make matters worse, the woman in the video also alleged that Leachman drugged her before the recording and that she hadn't actually consented to anything at all. You had this man in your videos. You were telling us to follow him on Instagram, and at some point you did wise up, so he's no longer part of your content, but he still seems like he's very much a part of your friend group. From the continued hangout since then to inviting him to your wedding just last year, people are under the impression that you're best friends with someone who, at best, committed an illegal sex act and at worst is an alleged rapist. And no matter how many times people rediscover this information over the years, you refuse to say anything at all. You could clarify this, but you won't.
And as D'Angelo points out, nobody from Cody's campus said anything about any of this stuff. Everybody's just kind of like full speed ahead like it didn't happen. They've got the blinders on.
It's no coincidence that with the exception of the H3 podcast, I haven't seen a single channel over 1 million subscribers do so much as acknowledge that this situation exists.
Now, one person who is broadly associated with Cody, Jarvis Johnson, did post about this once the D'Angelo video came out. Keep in mind, they're not like best friends. They didn't collab like 100 times. They just exist in the same kind of content area. But Jarvis said that the Cody Co allegations are serious and the actions described are disgusting. He also noted that he doesn't know Cody as a person and doesn't plan to work with him on anything. And I think that's totally fair. And honestly, I don't even think he or anyone who has talked to him needs to acknowledge this right now, considering the lack of information on the whole situation. But I'm not shocked that their fans are begging for them to acknowledge it, given how they operate their channels. I mean, when Brittany Broski, someone who collaborated with Cody, talked about the allegations on her Instagram story, some of her fans got mad at her on Twitter because she doesn't talk about Palestine enough.
You done lost your damn mind.
This is a very weird side of the internet. I hate all of this. And people are even mad at her because she framed the allegations as allegations instead of being like,
Cody's 1000% guilty.
When all she did was say, if true, this is horrible. Like, that's literally what you're supposed to do. We don't fucking know what happened yet. But this is the, like, believe everyone fan base and never question them. So it's kind of, you know, what you would expect from this kind of area of the internet.
I mean, Drake had enough to at least flirt with a 16-year-old. And like date one, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know.
Jerry Seinfeld?
Yeah. Yeah, you got to straight up.
He publicly dated
a teenager.
A teenager for like a while.
Took her to a baseball
16,
game.
16, what, something like that?
Yeah, 17. He's like
publicly. And he was like 50 or something like that.
It's like his 40s, late 30s or something.
Yeah.
Feeding her
Yeah,
hot
yeah,
dogs.
Yeah.
He was like 85. She was like 9 years old.
And the more you look into this, it seems like if it did happen, he knew what he was doing was wrong and he just didn't really care. People have pointed out that even besides the fact that if Cody did what Tana is saying, it's obviously really bad, he himself has been very publicly against people who do that kind of thing. Like, he himself has acknowledged, like, this is not cool. So it seems like if it did happen, he knew what he was doing was wrong and he just didn't really care. But big caveat on the if it did happen, because, you know, I gotta make it clear here once again that this is an allegation and it's irresponsible at this point to claim that Cody is 100% guilty, when as of right now, we just don't know. He could be, he could not be, and as far as I'm concerned, he should be treated as innocent until proof of his guilt does come out. But I'm really curious how he could even respond here. I mean, on one hand, if he's guilty, then admitting to what he did publicly would be an absolutely thing to do if his interest is maintaining his career. I mean, look at what just happened with Dr. Disrespect. His response wasn't the best received, I would say.
You know how we run things here.
Grippy. I call it that because it's grippy.
But the question for me now is, like, how would the audience react? Would they just stop watching him? Would they not really care anymore and move on? Obviously, sometimes Cody does make moral judgments in his videos because he's a commentary channel, but the majority of it is more focused on being funny rather than being, like, right or calling out some, like, important societal ill. He's really just, like, the funny man, you know? I would go as far as to say he's more on the comedian side of commentary than, like, the commentary side. So maybe the audience that likes him for his comedy and doesn't really have a personal investment in him as a person just, like, wouldn't give a shit. But certainly the more parasocial fans or people who just are disturbed by these allegations, like I am, would just, you know, leave and stop watching if they found out it was true. For another possibility, let's say hypothetically that Tana is lying. It seems really unlikely, but anything's possible at this point. If she did lie about this and Cody can prove it, then not only do all of the people calling him out look very dumb, but Tana's career is actually, like, fucking over. Obviously, no one should be allowed to get away with intentionally slandering someone, but if you slander someone like Cody Co, well, frankly, you can't pick a worse person to do that to just because of how well liked he is. At least he was very well liked. He had, like, an unshatterable image until this happened. So now it's kind of, ooh, ouchie. If this is true, it will completely shatter the pristine image he's managed to maintain. And I think it will kind of shatter the image that, you know, a lot of these bigger commentary channels have in general, where there's kind of been this, like, unspoken, like, these are the golden boys of YouTube commentary. They could do nothing wrong. And I think people will start to see them more as people who are fallible and can fuck up. You know, not to downplay what Cody did, because what he did is, if he did it, is, like, so bad. Maybe we'll stop getting as many, I love these golden commentary boys. They're so sweet. I love them so much. They could do nothing wrong. Bro, you don't know them, okay? Big lesson, you don't know the YouTuber you watch. You don't know what they do in their free time. They could be evil, or they could be the sweetest boy ever. All right, anyway, that's about it. Thanks for watching. I'll see you all in tomorrow's video. Bye. And once again, if you're interested in Scentbird, use the QR code on screen or use my code TOMDARK to get 55% off at Scentbird. You can get their product for half the price. That's just $8. Do it.